Welcome back to Storytime with Thisbe. Tonight I have another really beautiful book for you. This is The Little Wizard by Jody Bergsma. This is actually an Illumination Arts book, and I really want you to focus on these pictures. They're quite stunning. We're only going to be reading half, as this is a bit of a longer book, and we will continue tomorrow. Winter solstice had passed, and the promise of snow hung like a cloak over the purple hills. Far from the royal city, a young boy named Kevin sat with his cat by the fire, while his mother lay quietly in the next room. His grieving father kept watch by her bedside. Living simple lives, the family had been spared the turmoil left in other parts of the kingdom, but now a dark cloud had settled over the cottage. Kevin's mother was gravely ill. The boy's elderly father shuffled to the fire. "Son, I am ask for your help," he sighed. "Your great-grandfather often spoke of a magic well that is hidden in the Queen's garden. If you could go there and bring back just one vial of the healing waters." Kevin's eyes grew wide with astonishment. "Oh, father! I'm too young for such a long journey alone." "You must go," the old man whispered. "This may be your mother's only hope." Despite his fear, Kevin packed a small bag, leaving just enough room for his cat, Tomas. He hugged his parents goodbye, then headed east towards the mountain. The path led into an enchanted wood, where thick, tangled branches hid the sun. Moving through the trees, Kevin heard strange voices whispering, "Go this way! No, not that way!" But the sounds came from mischievous trolls, and soon the travelers were lost. Night began to fall, and the boy shivered at the icy wind. "We must find shelter," he whispered to Tomas. Just as the first snowflakes swirled to the ground, Kevin found a small cave. He gathered a few branches and attempted to light a fire, but the woods was just too damp. Trying to stay warm, the boy and the cat cuddled together in the darkness. Snow fell through the night, and they awoke to find a fairyland of white. Tomas bounded out to play in the snow and look for mice, while Kevin searched in vain for drier wood. Desperate to light a fire, the boy struck the flint again and again, but to no avail. Then, like a spark to the back of his mind, he heard his great-grandfather whispering an ancient chant. "Light, fire, light, bring your strength and power. Come, fire, come. Dance for me this hour." Kevin repeated the words, his voice growing louder and louder with every strike of the flint. Suddenly the twigs burst into flame, and a rumbling shook the cave. Amidst a great shower of sparks there appeared a luminous dragon. "Yay!" Kevin screeched as he jumped back, tripping over his cat. "Where did you come from?" stammered the frightened boy. The dragon stepped out of the flames and bowed politely. "By ancient words thou hast called me forth to be thy servant. My name is Greystone, after the rocks from which gave birth to me." The dragon's friendly manner thawed Kevin's fear, and the splendid fire banished the cold. But something was missing. Where was Tomas? The cat had run into the forest. Kevin followed the paw prints along the snow to the hollow of an old tree, where he found Tomas crouched upon a blue cloth. The boy gently wrapped the cloth around the trembling cat and carried him back to the cave. Upon seeing Greystone again, Tomas arched his back and hissed. As he leapt away, the woolen cloth flew into the air, landing on Kevin's shoulders. "Why, it's a cloak, and it fits me perfectly," he said with surprise. As the chill of the evening settled in, Kevin finally coaxed Tomas into accepting their strange new companion. That night, the three travelers happily shared the glowing fire. In the early morning, Greystone prepared hot mint tea with Kevin while Kevin packed his small bag. "How will I ever find my way through the tangled woods?" he sighed. "I would be pleased to be thy guide," pledged the dragon. "But you can't!" Kevin exclaimed. "Dragons have been banned from Lugan." "I shall need a disguise, of course," replied Greystone. "Please, give me thine old cloak." Thou wearest the new one, and we shall be on our way. Kevin agreed, and together they left for the royal city. As they traveled through the forest, Greystone instructed the boy in ancient magics. He learned how to disappear in a cloud of smoke and to summon a dragon fire, but his favorite lesson was whistling an enchanted tune. Whenever Kevin practiced, Tomas would find himself dancing a merry jig. Leaving snow and forest behind, the travelers arrived at a small village. Greystone announced, "Thou must go forth alone, for I cannot be where I am not respected." Kevin and Tomas shyly entered the town, hoping to replenish their food supply. As they passed through the cottages, they could see curious eyes peeking through the windows. Doors opened, and villagers approached one by one, with humble greetings and gifts. One whispered, "Could this be the promised one?" Another bowed deeply, saying, "Welcome, esteemed one." Others called out, "Hail, young master!" Astonished by the warm welcome, Kevin gratefully accepted gifts of food, clothing, and even a shaggy pony. When they met Greystone outside of the village, Kevin was excited and confused. "What do you think they meant by their bowing and all these gifts?" he questioned. "They believe thou art the child wizard spoken of in legend," Greystone replied, "the one who shall restore glory days to the kingdom." "But I'm no wizard," protested the boy. "I beg to differ, master," countered the dragon. "By thine fortune thou wearest a wizard's cloak." "A wizard's cloak? But why didn't you tell me?" Kevin exclaimed, his voice rising. "I can't wear this. Wizards are banned from the royal city." Sorry, I've lost my place here. "Remember thy quest, master," said the dragon. "If thy queen believes thou art the young wizard foretold in prophecy, she may grant thy request for a vial of the healing waters." Kevin's great love for his mother was far stronger than his fear, and so it was that he agreed to go on this journey, pretending to be the child wizard. That's all for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.